Welcome to the Kendra Woods Show. I'm Kendra Woods, and this is a space for high achieving women navigating success, self doubt, and the pressure that often lives beneath it. On this show, we explore the hidden patterns that shape how you lead your life, make decisions, and relate to success. Because success isn't just what you build, it's how you lead yourself. And here, we learn to lead ourselves well. Welcome back to the Kendra Woods Show. I'm Kendra Woods, and this is a space where we talk about self-leadership, identity, emotional steadiness, high-functioning self-doubt, and what it actually looks like to lead yourself well. Today's episode is one I've been sitting with because it's simple, but it also cuts deep. So get ready, y'all. We're talking about this question: who are you when no one is watching? Not who are you when you're posting, not who are you when you're showing up to work every day, not who are you when you're teaching, not who are you when you're being praised, not who are you when the energy is high and everyone can see your confidence, but who are you behind the scenes? Who are you in the quiet moments when you're by yourself? Who are you when the choice is yours and no one else would know whether you follow through or not? And this conversation that we're having is exactly why I created Lead Like Her. Lead Like Her is my 6-week leadership experience for the woman who's ready to stop leading from pressure, proving, urgency, and self abandonment. And you're ready to start leading from calm authority. Inside, we're doing the deeper work of self leadership, not just how to look powerful, not just how to sound confident, but how to become the woman who is steady, rooted, and trustworthy behind the scenes. Because your leadership is not only built in public, a lot of it is built in private. So if you've been feeling the pull towards this work, you can DM me on Instagram for details, or you can click the link in the show notes to learn more about Lead Like Her. Now, let's get into today's conversation, all right? So let's talk about the pattern, public presentation versus private practice. I want to start here with you. A lot of high achieving women know how to present well, right? You know how to show up polished. You know how to communicate. You know how to be responsible. You know how to get things done. We've covered this already. You know how to be the strong one, the capable one, the one people count on, right? And because of that, it can be very easy to confuse presentation with embodiment, but they are not the same thing. There is a difference between looking like you are leading yourself and actually leading yourself. There is a difference between talking about your next level and living in a way that actually supports it. There's a difference between saying, I'm becoming her, and actually making the private decisions that allow you to trust that. And I say this with so much compassion and understanding because I know this pattern, right? You have the vision, you can know what you want, you can feel the identity of the woman you're becoming. You can even speak from that identity sometimes. But behind the scenes, the old patterns creep back in. You delay, you negotiate, you overthink, you stay on the phone too late, you avoid the action that would move your business forward or your career forward. And you tell yourself, you know what, I'll do it tomorrow. You wait to feel more ready. You wait for the perfect energy. You wait until the doubt is gone. And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin creating a gap between the woman you say you are becoming and the woman you are actually practicing being. And that gap matters, not because you need to be perfect, but because your self trust is built in that gap, or your self trust is leaked in that gap. And so let's talk about what that costs you. How do we leak self trust? And this is where I want you to truly like lean forward and listen. Every time you make a promise to yourself and you don't keep it, there is a part of you that is paying attention. Your body is paying attention. Your nervous system is paying attention. Your identity is paying attention. And again, this is not about having like one off day, right? Like you're human. This is not about being human. This is about this isn't about never needing rest, never changing your mind, or never having a moment where you fall out of rhythm. We all do that, right? Like that's normal. I'm talking about the pattern. When you repeatedly tell yourself you're going to do something and then you repeatedly do not follow through, eventually you stop fully believing yourself. And that can be subtle. It may not sound dramatic. It may show up as hesitation. It may show up as needing more validation. It may show up as overthinking decisions you already know how to answer. You already know the answer to them. It may show up as starting strong and then disappearing. It may show up as feeling confident publicly, but unstable privately. And that is where leadership can become performative, not fake. I don't like using that language here because I don't think most women are trying to be fake. I think many women are trying to become a version of themselves that they have not fully stabilized yet. So the issue is not that you're pretending. The issue is that the identity has not become rooted. You've touched it, you've felt it, you've had moments where you've moved from it, but now it has to become more than a moment. It really does have to become a practice because the next version of you is not built by inspiration alone. She is built by repetition. She is built by private decisions. She's built by the moments where you choose the standard, even when no one else would even know. Okay. So when we step beyond this and we talk about the shift, I want to step into this conversation about standards and have the conversation with you around standards not being punishment. So I know for some people, the word standards can feel heavy. It can sound strict. It can sound like pressure. It can sound like another way to be hard on yourself. But that's not how I'm holding it. A standard is not punishment. A standard is not self-rejection. A standard is not you saying, I'm not enough, so I have to force myself to be better. That's pressure. That is not leadership. A standard is a line of devotion. It's you saying, this matters to me. This is how I care for the woman I am becoming. This is how I build trust with myself. This is what I no longer want to renegotiate every day. And that last part right there that I said is important because when you do not have standards, what happens is everything becomes a daily negotiation with yourself. Am I going to show up today? Am I going to move my body today? Am I going to make the offer today? Am I going to go to bed early tonight? Am I going to act on what I already know today? And when everything is up for negotiation, your emotions end up leading. Your mood leads, your doubt leads, your fatigue leads, your fear leads, your old identity leads. But when you have standards, you're no longer starting from scratch every morning. You've already decided what matters. And that decision gives you something to return to. Not perfectly, but consistently. And that consistency is what builds identity. Okay. So I want to share with you a few of my own non-negotiables with you. Not because yours need to look exactly like mine, but because I want you to hear how simple they are, right? They're not dramatic, they're not complicated, they are not designed to impress anyone. They are designed to support the woman I am becoming. So my first non-negotiable is I act within 5 seconds when I know what needs to be done. This one is big for me because I know how quickly that my mind can start negotiating. So like, when like, a thing, you need to send the message, you need to publish the post, you need to get up, you need to make the offer, you need to go to the gym and move your body. And then almost immediately, what happens? The mind comes in. Well, maybe later. Maybe I need to think about this some more. Maybe I should wait, until I feel a little more clearer. Maybe now isn't the time. And sometimes that is wisdom, but a lot of times it is just delay dressed up as discernment. So for me, when the next action is clear, I move. Not with panic, not with pressure, but with leadership. Because every time I act on clarity, what's happening is I'm teaching myself that I can trust myself. Okay. And I really have stabilized this non-negotiable when it comes to like my exercise routine, right? There was a point where I've always been active in my life, but when I look at past versions of me, I negotiated a lot with myself. Well, I'll just work out just 2 times this week. Oh, maybe I'll do 3 times this week because I'm feeling great, right? Or you know what? I'm just gonna take the week off. Like I don't need to move. Like I'm just gonna just chill. And like I negotiated with myself every single time. I would wake up in the morning knowing that, okay, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to get my workout in. And my brain would immediately go into, oh, but you really need like, you should probably have like another extra hour of sleep. Maybe you should just rest more. Oh, do I really feel like going out into the garage? It's cold. I didn't put my clothes out last night. Like the mind comes up with all the things. But the moment that I nipped that in the bud is when I set the alarm and I just got up. I didn't sit and think about it. I didn't sit and ruminate over it. I didn't sit and play out the scenario in my head. I just got up and moved. Okay. So my second non-negotiable is I am in the bed and off my phone by 9:30, and I give myself 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Now, this is not glamorous, but it matters. But I cannot say, because I can't say I want to lead with calm authority and then keep putting my body in a state where it is under rested, overstimulated, and running on fumes. That doesn't make sense, right? It's not in alignment. My rest supports my leadership. My rest also supports the season that I am in right now of moving through perimenopause, right? Rest is so important. My nervous system supports my leadership. My body supports my leadership. So going to bed is not just about sleep. It is about identity. It's about saying, I am a woman who prepares herself to hold what she is asking for. Okay. My third non-negotiable is I create and publish one piece of visible content or make one direct offer every day. Now, this is a business standard, but it's also a leadership standard because visibility is not just marketing. Visibility is a practice of not disappearing. Making offers is not just about sales. It is a practice of standing behind the value of your work. And for me, this standard keeps me from making my business dependent on my emotional state. I do not need to feel perfectly inspired every day. I do not need to be in some magical creative flow state every day. I need to stay in relationship with my work. I need to keep showing up for the women that I'm here to lead. Right? Do you see the difference there? My fourth non-negotiable is I train my body for at least 45 minutes, 5 days a week. And again, this is not just about fitness. Training teaches me so much about leadership. Like half of the ideas and moves that I've made in my business and life have come through when I've been moving my body, right? Have come through. I've lived my life and have been inspired in my life to move in certain ways through my experience and my devotion and my dedication to moving my body and exercising and training my body. training my body, it teaches me how to stay present when something's uncomfortable. And I think that is like the biggest lesson. I remember I had this exercise routine I would do. I can't remember who it was, but back in the day when you would, I had DVDs of like different workout routines and stuff. And I can't remember who it was. I know it was a woman, but I remember her saying at one point in the video, she was like, "You've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable." And it's exactly what training teaches me to do. It teaches me how to stay present when things are uncomfortable. It teaches me how to keep going when I want to quit. It teaches me that results come from repetition, not intensity alone. It teaches me that I do not need to feel motivated to honor my identity. And that applies everywhere. So, a lot of the things that I have mastered in my training, I look at that and I say, okay, now how can I overlay this mindset or this way of being or this identity? How can I overlay that into business? What would that look like? Right. And so, this applies everywhere, right? To your business, body, leadership, money, visibility, self-trust. The same principle applies. You do not become the woman you want to become because you had one powerful day. You become her because you keep making identity deposits, small ones, private ones, repeated ones, until eventually you're no longer trying to convince yourself that you are her. You have the evidence. You have lived proof because you're living it, right? That is the evidence. So now I want to bring this back to you. Who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when the post does not get the engagement you wanted? Who are you when the sale has not come in yet? Who are you when you feel tired? Who are you when you feel doubt? Who are you when the house is quiet, the camera is off, the laptop is closed, and it's just you with the decision in front of you? This is where leadership is built. Not only in moments where you're seen, but in the moments where you are choosing who you are without applause. And I want to be very clear here. This is not an invitation to become harder on yourself or to judge yourself or to beat yourself up. This is an invitation to become more honest with yourself, because honesty is what allows you to lead, not shame, not pressure, not pretending. Honesty. You can say, okay, this is where I'm leaking self-trust. This is where I keep negotiating with my next level. This is where my standards are unclear. This is where I need more support. This is where I need to stop performing leadership and actually practice it. That kind of honesty is powerful because once you see the pattern clearly, you can choose differently. All right. So here's what I want you to do after this episode. I want you to choose 3 or 4 non-negotiables for this season of your life, not 20, not a whole life overhaul, just 3 or 4. And I want you to ask yourself, what would make me trust myself more? What would support the woman I say I'm becoming? Where am I currently negotiating too much? Where do I need more private integrity? Where am I ready to stop making my emotions the leader? So maybe one of your non-negotiables is about your body. Maybe one is about your business. Maybe one is about rest. Maybe one is about money. Maybe you create a non-negotiable about emotional regulation. Maybe one is about making offers. Maybe you make a non-negotiable about not abandoning yourself when things feel uncertain. But I want you to choose standards that actually mean something to you, not standards that sound impressive, standards that build trust, standards that support your identity, standards that help you become the woman that you respect. And once you have them, I would love for you to share them with me. Message me on Instagram and tell me, hey, Kendra, these are my non negotiables. I really want to hear them because naming the standard matters. It makes the identity real. When you name the standard, it gives it power. It deeply matters and it becomes real, not just to like your conscious mind, but also to your subconscious. All right. And listen, this is the exact kind of work that we're doing inside of Lead Like Her. We're not just talking about confidence. We're not just talking about strategy. We're not just talking about being more productive or the latest hack. We're talking about the woman underneath the leadership, the woman behind the business, the woman behind the career, the woman behind the performance, the woman behind the pressure, the woman who's ready to become steady enough to hold more. So inside Lead Like Her, we work through my calm authority method: awareness, shift, and embodied action. Awareness, so you can see the pattern clearly without collapsing into shame. Shift, so you can stop operating from the old identity. And embodied action, so your leadership becomes something you practice, not just something you talk about or write down in your journal. So if this episode spoke to you, I want you to come a little closer. DM me on Instagram for details about Lead Like Her, or you can click the link in the show notes to learn more. And even if you do nothing else today, I want you to sit with this question: who am I when no one is watching? Because the answer will show you where your next level of leadership is asking to be built. Not performed, but built. Behind the scenes, in small choices, in the private standards, in the moments where you keep your word to yourself. Okay? So thank you so much for being here with me today. And when you define your non-negotiables, send them to me on Instagram. I would love to see what you are choosing to stand for in this season. All right, until next time, lead yourself well.